Welcome to another episode of the Soothing Semantics podcast. I am your host, Rafi Pinsky. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, smash the like button, leave those comments. For your South Florida real estate needs, make sure to get in contact with me by following me at Rafi the Realtor on the gram and signing up to my weekly newsletter to stay in the know of everything South Florida real estate. This week, we're doing things a little bit differently. We're going to be talking, but without the guest. So we're going to be doing this solo today, and we're covering West Bank annexation, annexation of Judea and Samaria. So it's been quite the talk, and the U.S., Trump, J.D. Vance are saying that they're going to withdraw support if Israel goes ahead and does it. So this is a make it or break it moment. As many of you know who watch my videos regularly, this is something, annexation is something I don't just support, but I think is a requirement in order to bring stability, not just between the Israelis and Palestinians, the Arabs and the Jews, but in the region as well. Saudi Arabia is also saying that they're going to withdraw their Abraham Accords, and Israel is being given an ultimatum by Saudi Arabia, by the United States, by other countries as well. They held a symbolic vote in the Israeli Knesset, the Israeli parliament, in which over 60% of the Knesset members were in support of the annexation. So we're going to watch a little clip. I'm going to share my screen, and we are going to review.
Donald Trump has said that Israel will lose all American support if it annexes the West Bank. In an interview with Time magazine, the US president said, "It won't happen because I gave my word to the Arab countries." Hardline lawmakers in Israel's parliament, the Knesset, have backed a bill to apply Israeli law within the West Bank, effectively amounting to annexation. Israel already occupies the area in violation of international law. There will be 3 more rounds of voting before it can become law. US Vice President J.D. Vance said he took the vote as a personal insult.
I mean, look, if it was a political stunt, it was a very stupid political stunt, and I personally take some insult to it. The West Bank is not going to be annexed by Israel. The policy of the Trump administration is that the West Bank will not be annexed by Israel. That will continue to be our policy. And if people want to take symbolic votes, they can do that. But we certainly weren't happy about it.
So do these rebukes from the Trump administration indicate the beginnings of a rift between the White House and the Israeli government? I asked our correspondent in Jerusalem, Emily Gordine.
Well, look, Phil, the Israelis know that they cannot afford any rift with the Americans at this point. The Americans are their strongest, most powerful, most important ally at this point. But let me just recap what exactly happened today. So the Knesset, the Israeli parliament, passed 2 bills to annex the Israeli settlements, the illegal Israeli settlements in the West Bank, and to annex one city settlement, Ma'ale Adumim, which is one of the biggest settlements in the occupied West Bank, that is sort of east of East Jerusalem. All of that amounts to effectively the annexation of the entire West Bank because they occupy so much territory. And then now these bills will now go to committees, and they will still have to pass 3 votes in the Knesset. And political pundits in Israel certainly believe that they will not pass those votes. They will not get the majority in the Knesset because of that opposition from the US. Netanyahu himself has called this a, quote, deliberate political provocation by the opposition to sow discord during Vance's visit to Israel. So he's tried to distance himself from this move. That being said, it is all too well known in Israel that Netanyahu himself is not opposed to annexation. He has been in favor of annexation. He is so ideologically, politically, and he's also said on various occasions that there will not be a Palestinian country, a Palestinian nation. This territory, quote, belongs to us. So he's made it very clear where he sees the territory of the West Bank. The thing is, though, now is that the Israelis really cannot afford to lose support, and that is why there is no, official. That's why they've put a stop to putting this into official policy, essentially, even though the facts on the ground speak for themselves. We've seen over the years, over the decades, really an increase of illegal Israeli settlements in the West Bank. Illegal outposts have flourished. Settler violence runs rampant, effectively displacing hundreds of Palestinians, thousands of Palestinians from their land. So the actions on the ground speak for themselves, but the Israelis at this point cannot make this official policy simply because of the US opposition.
Well, let's explore.
All right. All right, folks. So, a couple of thoughts. First of all, it is Judea and Samaria. Let's be super clear about that. We're talking about Judea and Samaria, the heartland of the Jewish people, where we had our kingdoms. The only group of people, Jews were the only people that ever had a kingdom on this land. This is biblically our land. We conquered it. We fought for it. It is ours. Now, the Arabs, Muslims, Christians, whoever are welcome to live in it with us in peace and harmony. But this whole idea of splitting Judea and Samaria into areas A, B, and C, all this nonsense that they tried to push with the Oslo Accords, for example, isn't going to take us anywhere, won't bring peace. And Israel is now between a rock and a hard place. Saudi Arabia is also giving Israel an ultimatum. If they attempt to annex the West Bank, Saudi Arabia will withdraw its side of the agreement with the Abraham Accords. This is a make it or break it moment. This is a make it or break it moment. And as I've said on my guest appearance with Mike Gamal, if you haven't seen it, you can go to Mike Gamal on YouTube, or you can follow him at Coptic Kapara. That's how he labels himself on the gram. And you can see our discussion. We went into this in detail. So briefly, Israel should have done this in the War of Independence in 48. They should have had full sovereignty over the entire land, because symbolically, if they don't do it, it'll embolden anyone who's against the state of Israel to continue to fight it. This is something that will have to be done. And what will be required to get this done is Israel will have to become more self-sufficient militarily. It'll have to put itself in a position where it doesn't have this reliance on American military support. Its GDP is over 500 billion. I believe it's 550 plus. It'll probably be over $1 trillion in the coming years. It has the ability to do it, and it needs to start moving in that direction. If it doesn't, like I've said, I've used this analogy with the Band-Aid. We keep ripping Band-Aids off and putting them back on again. The wound needs to be treated. And in this case, the wound is the conflict. It won't be simple. It'll take time. It'll require trust. It will require trust, but it is nonetheless an extremely, extremely vital decision that needs to be made. And what's true is that Netanyahu's coalition is putting pressure on him to dissolve that coalition, taking him out of his seat if they don't move forward with this. Now, we'll see what's to come in the coming days, weeks, and months. I hope that this is something that happens. And more so, I hope to have the opportunity to speak with Bibi myself, to sit down with him. If anyone listening does have the opportunity to make that connection, I will fly over there in a heartbeat and sit down with him, because this conversation has to be had. And whether it's going to be Bibi or another prime minister in the future, this is something that will have to happen if we want to have a semblance of peace in the next 20, 30, 40, 50 years. Ladies and gents, I appreciate you joining me for this episode of Soothing Semantics. If you'd like to see more of these reaction videos, let me know in the comments. It's something that I'm considering doing, so make sure, of course, subscribe, smash the like button, leave your comments, follow me at Rafi the Realtor and Soothing Semantics on Instagram. I look forward to helping any of you that are looking to leave Mamdani's New York. I'm sure there will be quite a few of you, and I hope you tune into the next episode. Peace!